On Westerns, you hear that a lot. About how putting on the boots and the, the gun belt or whatever, all of a sudden they had the character, or the hat.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Rob, this was certainly true for Rob in this one, that he had, there was a certain kind of pair of ill-fitting genes, that helped him find the character's physicality, which also, coupled with a pair of just bad, cheap supermarket sneakers, I get that. I understand it completely. That as soon as you just have something physical, something physical and tangible to latch onto, that you can then build everything else on top of that.
And Rob was somebody you knew or had never met, or?
I'd met him just in a, after Animal Kingdom, I did the sort of, 500,000 meetings that you do around town, and and a lot of those are with actors. I like meeting actors.
I'm sure you were a huge Twilight fan.
Well, I had no idea who I was meeting, but I had learnt really early on in that meetings process as well to not be dismissive of actors whose work I was unfamiliar with, or whose work I thought I might not be up my alley. Because, and Rob is a classic example of this, very often you get there and you find that you're sitting opposite a person who is very smart and often very talented, who has made choices early on in their career that anyone would make,
Right.
And Rob was a classic example of this. I sat down with him. I didn't really know anything about him. I was very aware of his position in the world of celebrity and gossip magazines, and but I just immediately liked him. He's really, really not just affable, but available guy, obviously intelligent. But at that stage when I met him, I didn't even know that I was going to make the Rover. It was just one of those meetings you do, and and when I had made the decision to make the Rover, I knew I wanted to see him. I didn't know what he would show me, but I knew I wanted to see him if he would be willing to test, and he was, because he's willing. He knows that there's work to do. In order to transform his career, he knew that there was work to be done. And, I mean, it feels condescending in a way, or over melodramatic to say he needed to transform his career. He just got to the end of a franchise and went, okay, what else is there to do? And what he wanted was to work with filmmakers that he likes.
It's hard. I mean, we were just actually with Bong Joon-ho, who has Snowpiercer with Chris Evans, who's, you can kind of hear him talking about being stuck in being Captain America.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it. He really wants to do stuff, and he's done a few little movies in between, but they get very little attention, and then it's all Captain America. And I think Scarlett Johansson is kind of going through some of the same thing. It's like, it's great to have that massive opportunity and be seen everywhere and be a star, but some of these people actually want to be actors.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson also.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all in different positions. They've all had different kinds of careers.
Yeah.
And, Rob is in a very kind of stark position in that really nobody knows anything about him other than this kind of franchise juggernaut.
And love, or not.
Yeah.
Which is,
I know. I mean,
really?
with the weirdest life that you're forced to lead when it's being kind of played out for you on a completely illusory canvas of the pages of gossip magazines. I made some quip in a Q&A when we were in Sydney about the fact that Rob was doing a lot of eating of like just barbecue sauce on white bread, and the next thing you know, you're reading everywhere that this is his crazy Hollywood diet. It's just like they just make stuff up.